Alright guys, so welcome back to another segment of Legends of Evil, and today, we're going to be talking about another Star Wars villain that's kind of lesser known. Before we go any further, I've been hanging out with my buddy Jim Bean for the past hour, so let's see how far I can get without slurring my words more than usual. Anyway, so the character I'm going to be talking about is a lesser-known Dark Jedi, not a Sith Lord, just a Dark Jedi, and that being Xanatos. No, not Xanatos from Gargoyles, get that shit out of your brain. But the character of Xanatos is the former Padawan of Qui-Gonn Jin. Yes, he is a pre-Phantom Menace era villain who was actually pretty cool. Xanatos' story is pretty interesting. He comes from the world of Talos 3, where his father, who, when Qui-Gon came to his world and sensed a strong bond of the Force within him, Xanatos' father urged his son to go with Qui-Gon, not because, I want you to see you become a great Jedi. It's more like, nah, I want Talos 3 to be in the market for to be not in the market, to be in the Republic. I want it to be in the Republic, and you're the best way to get in there. So Xanatos goes with Qui-Gon and trains with him as his Padawan for a short time, until eventually, when he's on the verge of becoming finally a Jedi Knight, Yoda says, "Nah, we're not going to do that because we can sense the evil in you, and yeah, we're not. That's not flying with us." So, unfortunately, Xanatos was kicked. He was going to be allowed to stay on as a Padawan. Even though they could sense the dark side within him, but Xanatos literally did what all most Jedi did when they find out, I can't become this. Well, fuck you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna turn to the dark side, and that's what he did. Now, while he wasn't a Sith Lord, he was very adept in the form of he was a Dark Jedi. Yeah, he was pretty much a Dark Jedi who more or less turned all of his rage on Qui-Gon Jinn after, even though Qui-Gon tried to fight for Xanatos in the order, to become a Jedi Knight, he felt he was ready, but the rest of the other masters, as usual, thought, nah, he's not ready to become a Jedi, he's too dark, and, yeah, Xanatos turned away from the Order and eventually found his way into becoming a Dark Jedi, where he took all of his rage and anger and turned it on Qui-Gon and his new apprentice, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So from there, Xanatos was pretty pissed off. He more or less became a constant thorn in Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan's side, stalking them from going from planet to planet, stalking them in any way, shape, or form. He more or less hunted Obi-Wan from planet to planet, even setting up grandiose schemes to more or less, try to demoralize Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, and even though he wasn't a true Sith Lord, he was very adept in the Force, meaning that he was actually incredibly intelligent for his young age. He was a master tactician, and had he become a Jedi, he would have made actually a pretty good general during the Clone Wars. He would have made a great general in the Clone Wars, but his ambitions of becoming a very powerful being eventually led him to joining the dark side. This also didn't help when Qui-Gon had to return to Talos 3 when he found out Xanatos' father was conducting some really dirty shit and inadvertently had to kill his father, and that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back between Xanatos and Qui-Gon. So from there, Qui-Gon and Xanatos' rivalry went from planet to planet, and Xanatos' rage against the Republic as well as the Jedi really got to a head. He even attempted an assassination on Yoda's life, which nearly succeeded. He nearly killed Yoda. He nearly successfully killed Yoda. And you're probably wondering, well, Xanatos would have made a great Sith Lord. Why didn't Palpatine take him? Reason being is mostly because Palpatine saw Xanatos as a great distraction from the Sith. While he, Plagueis, and Maul were training and building up, power within the Senate, Xanatos, while he was not a Sith, he was a acolyte of the dark side, and never really met Sidious and the others, but Sidious himself saw it as a great distraction until the time was right for when for when they could return, they could make the Sith's announcement to return through Darth Maul and Phantom Menace. So that was kind of the big thing, is that you're probably wondering, well, he would have made a great Sith apprentice, and admittedly he would have, and I'm pretty sure had not Sidious made Count Dooku his apprentice, I'm pretty sure he would have had Xanatos survived. That's the other thing, is that, Xanatos passed on, but I'm going to get to that in a bit. But Xanatos may have become a Sith Lord had he not died, as well as, had, Sidious put his hopes and dreams on Count Dooku being his next apprentice, replacing Maul. So I'm pretty sure, even if he didn't have Maul, I'm pretty sure somewhere down the line, Sidious may have gone to Xanatos to be his apprentice, had, things gone differently. Now, Xanatos, like I said, was very adept in the Force. While he wasn't very, he was incredibly powerful and very skilled. His main form was the same as Qui-Gonn Jinn's, which was Ataru, which is a very it's a very offensive move where you use agility mixed with saber skills. It's all offensive. You're constantly moving around. The other thing is that in his tactics, he would use his surroundings to combat his opponents. He would use his surroundings to battle Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon in battle constantly, because he knew he couldn't take on Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon in head-on matches. Even though, multiple times they fought, Obi-Wan lost in a majority of the battles between him and Xanatos. Even Qui-Gon found it difficult to battle Xanatos in a head-on battle. Now, among other things, Xanatos also used a special cloak that kept him invisible from the Force. He could actually imbue his power of the Force into his cloak that kept him invisible, even from Mace Windu and Yoda's Force sensitivity. Yeah, he could literally sneak into anywhere and go, he could go anywhere without the Jedi Council ever discovering him. So that's what made him a very dangerous opponent, was that he was capable of, slipping in and going in anywhere. But yeah, eventually what happened to Xanatos was that he was cornered by Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon on a distant planet. It wasn't Corellia, it's something with a C. But yeah, knowing that he had failed in his latest plans against Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, rather than let himself be captured, Xanatos committed suicide by throwing himself into an acid pit, forever claiming that he was Qui-Gon's greatest failure. And this eventually led to Obi-Wan trying to rectify that when he found young Anakin Skywalker. So yeah, Xanatos, while he was not a true Sith Lord, was a very powerful dark Jedi, and had things gone differently, I'm pretty sure he would have been a Dark Lord of the Sith instead of Dooku, or he would have joined had he survived. I'm pretty sure he would have joined joined under Dooku and Sidious as an acolyte of the Sith in some capacity. So I thought I would make, there's so many Star Wars characters out there, I thought it would be interesting to talk about one of them that not a lot of people talk about, so that's why I kind of spotlighted Xanatos, the bane of Qui-Gon Jinn, if you will. So you guys tell me, what do you guys think of Xanatos? Do you guys like him? Do you guys hate him? Just comment below, let me know, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.